CBS News senior national security contributor Michael Morrell says leaving the climate accord is the worst decision the president has made. I spoke with the former CIA acting director for my PBS program.
And when I think about the world and I think about the threats to the preservation of the nation, there are only three that I can see. The first is a nuclear war with Russia. The second is a naturally occurring or man-made biological agent that kills a significant percentage of the population. And the third is climate change. Climate change is that serious over the long term. If this goes through, right, and the next president doesn't change it, this decision is going to make the climate worse and therefore have national security implications from that very significant perspective.
CBS News chief Washington correspondent and Face the Nation anchor John Dickerson joins us now from Washington. John, good morning.
Good morning, Charlie.
So with all this opposition from around the globe and here, what does the president gain?
Well, what he gains is the support of those who are his most ardent supporters. There is so much in this deal, and when you look at the way he talked about it, that was pitched to those people who support him and who see this kind of a deal. And think about the way the president phrased it, as the rest of the world is laughing at America, that this was something cooked up by elites and globalists to kind of trick the Americans into weakening its own economy for some kind of fuzzy agreement that put America at a disadvantage. And so what he gains is the affection and the applause of his base that sent him to Washington.
But people say he already had that, and they've been through him thick and thin, and what he's done is isolated America from the rest of the world.
But he doesn't mind isolating America from the rest of the world, and the harsh comments from Europe are just fine with the president, who just doesn't think that America should do things that are not in its interest just because some foreign capitals in Europe think it's a bad idea. And yes, he's got a very strong base, but his view of politics is essentially that his base is what he needs to tend and keep paying attention to. When I was with him in Harrisburg a few weeks ago at a rally, when he talked about the Paris Accords in these terms, in other words, that this is something cooked up by the globalists, there were roars when he spoke in opposition to it. And that is a roar that he keeps always in the back of his head, likes to keep feeding it, and would have diminished it if he had bought into this globalist agreement here.
What does this say about the influence of the president's top advisors?
Well, I think and we also got to think about the political context here. Next week, the president may be in a very big fight as James Comey testifies. What the president has done is in the Rose Garden stood up for the nationalist views, the American first views that Steve Bannon supports, that Scott Pruitt, his EPA administrator, supports. This is the kind of core part of the Trump worldview. That won out here. That's always very close to his heart. It's something he talks about a lot, how much his base still loves him, how much his base takes energy from him being attacked by elites. That is always something he's interested in. But in the current political context, him coming forward and being able to talk about these core ideas is not bad when he's facing some political pressure from other quarters.
John, thanks.